Two here in League B Group C of the 2022-2023 Concacaf Nations League. Joe Malfa here with you for tonight's action. When these teams met 2 nights ago, it was a 2-0 victory for Nicaragua, and tonight they can perhaps clinch no worse than second in Group C with a win. The weather could be a factor, chance of rain up at 90%, could be some thunderstorms in the area as well, and a breezy evening here in Managua, so weather may play a role as the evening goes along. As we take a look at the standings in League B Group C, coming into the day, it's Nicaragua on top with 7 points, but right now it's halftime between Trinidad and Tobago and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a 3-1 lead for Trinidad and Tobago, so it seems like it'll be Trinidad on top with 9 and Nicaragua with 7. So a win would take Nicaragua back on top with 10 and also ensure that they finish no worse than second in this group. Well, for the Bahamas, points tonight could go a long way in that potential relegation battle with St. Vincent and the Grenadines here in the final match window of this June international window. 4th match in 2 weeks' time for all the nations in League B Group C. Here's the path so far for Nicaragua. A win to begin over Trinidad and Tobago. An exciting draw against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that 2-0 win over the Bahamas from just 3 nights ago. It was the first ever meeting between the Bahamas and Nicaragua. So now just 2 nights later, these nations meet again. And for the Bahamas, they start off with a win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, followed by a loss against Trinidad and Tobago. Pair of 1-0 matches on the wrong end of one, on the right end of the other. They hung in there against Nicaragua the other night, but then a goal scored late by that man in the background, actually. Matthias Moltskred put that match out of reach. Players about to take the field for their national anthems, and we'll have kickoff shortly after here in Managua.
Selección Nacional de Bahamas y a la Selección Nacional de Nicaragua. Señoras y señores, nos ponemos de pie y mostramos la muestra de respeto para escuchar las notas sagradas del himno nacional de la República de Bahamas. nos quedamos de pie para entonar las notas sagradas del himno nacional de Nicaragua.
Emotion on the faces of both players, on both nations as they sing their national anthems, ready to get things going here in Managua. Fans are ready for it too, as we get to meet the starting 11 for Nicaragua. Just one change made from the team that faced Bahamas a couple of nights ago, with one addition to the starting lineup being Jason Coronel in the midfield. They sacrifice a defender and Henry Nino for that one swap. The two goal scorers from the last match are out there again for Nicaragua. Matias Moldskred scored the second to provide the insurance in the dying moments of the match, and the first goal was scored by Jaime Moreno in the 40th minute the other night. Both of those players out there again. Here are tonight's officials. Julio Luna leads an whole Guatemalan crew, with Julian Mendez and Jorge Ordonez. Jose Fuentes is the fourth official. Captains out there for the coin toss: Juan Barrera for Nicaragua and Leslie St. Fleur for the Bahamas. Leslie St. Fleur has the lone goal so far in this group for the Bahamas, wearing the captain's armband, hoping to find a positive result for his nation once again. The most capped player in the starting 11 for the Bahamas, earning his 29th tonight, Leslie St. Fleur. And the rest of that starting 11 joining Leslie St. Fleur has a handful of changes from the other night. You'll notice at the bottom there, only 3 subs, 1 being a goalkeeper. So short-handed tonight, the Bahamas, they made 5 different changes to the starting 11 from the last match. Michael Massey comes into the lineup. He subbed in at half against Nicaragua, and he made immense impacts on the match. The midfield battle was dominated by Nicaragua for the first half. Once Massey came into the fold, things switched a bit. There he is, the young 17-year-old in the midfield. He started finding the pockets of space, able to lead Wood Jolmis into space, and they went on and found their only dangerous opportunity of the game early in that second half, with Massey pulling the strings from the midfield. Nicaragua from right to left in the white. The Bahamas from left to right in that light blue. Just waiting for the whistle now of Julio Luna to send us on our way here in League B Group C. 4th match for each of these teams. For Nicaragua, a chance to perhaps clinch no worse than second in the group, while the Bahamas are hoping to avoid relegation back to League C. And we're underway from Managua. No threat of relegation yet for the Bahamas, but as we get closer and closer to the finish line in Nations League, where after tonight we just have 2 more matches come March, start to think about that just a little bit more, as it seems like Nicaragua and Trinidad and Tobago have distanced themselves as the premier teams of this group. Bonilla, incredibly active 3 nights ago in terms of shots himself and generating opportunities for others. Slotted into Moldskred. Matias Moldskred right into the arms of Vance Wheaton. Positive early from Nicaragua. In all likelihood for the Bahamas, it's going to come down to that final match on the final match day against St. Vincent and the Grenadines to determine which of the two sides is relegated into League C. The Bahamas, a successful run last edition of Nations League, saw them win Group B of League C, earning promotion here into League B. They were in a group with Bonaire and the British Virgin Islands. 3 wins and a tie saw them through. And Nicaragua entered the day with 7 points, leading League B Group C. But at the moment, Trinidad and Tobago up 3-1 at halftime on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the Soca Warriors would leapfrog Nicaragua for the time being. Bonilla plays it in. St. Fleur gets it out of harm's way. 3 more points, though, tonight for Nicaragua would mean they end the night in first place. And they would end the June window in first place. Psychologically, that has to be a bit of a boon to see your name above the group for the next 9 months before we convene again. Remember, in League B, the group winners gain promotion to League A and automatic entry into the Gold Cup group stage. The second place finisher, at worst, clinches a spot in the Gold Cup prelim. So that's why with a win tonight, it would be something significant for Nicaragua. They know that no matter what, they at least would be in next summer's Gold Cup prelims. Moldskred, great vision to send that one through. Here's Coronel. To the end line, flipped in centrally, headed on and saved by Wheaton. It's set up perfectly for Jaime Moreno, who scored with his head in the 40th minute 3 nights ago. Not enough power on this one, right at the keeper. Bonilla, as he ventured out to the corner, waving his arms to pump up the crowd. Bonilla and Barrera out in the corner. 32 saves, though, from Vance Wheaton, the 17-year-old, earning just his 2nd international cap for the Bahamas. Bonilla, and they'll do it again from the corner. That's one they might want back. Oscar Acevedo, as he tried to clip it in, unable to elevate it, gave it away. Bonilla being harassed on the right flank. Troy Pinder and Alexiu Cartwright over there, quickly taking free kick. Caught everybody by surprise. That Bahamas back line, arms were outstretched. Some upset that the free kick was allowed to be taken quickly, others calling for the offside flag. And another save for Wheaton. Teams play here at this venue. Deportivo Walter Ferretti and Managua. Handful of players on this Nicaraguan side that play their club ball in this venue. And it's the designated stadium for the national team. Opened up in 2014. Already 4 shots in the match for Nicaragua. 3 nights ago, the Nicaraguan side outshot Bahamas 15-1 with nearly 60% of the possession. Bahamas content to just sit back and pick their moment on the counter, as what we saw in their first 2 matches against St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Trinidad and Tobago. They were able to find that goal against St. Vincent and the Grenadines and preserve the clean sheet to earn the victory. Against Trinidad and Tobago, they conceded just 3 minutes into the match, but were able to hold up the rest of the way without conceding again, which could become important if goal differential comes into play. In that match, they allowed over 20 shots to Trinidad and Tobago. So to have only conceded once in the 3rd minute, when it seemed like the onslaught might be on the Soca Warriors, could be crucial down the line for the Bahamas in a potential and seemingly likely relegation battle with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Knowing you play them on the final day of the group stage, if you have that superior goal differential, even if you're tight on points, you guarantee staying up with a draw. Played through here, Moldskred, the shot just wide. Nicaragua closing in. It seems like a case of when, not if, and how many for the home side. Talk about on one end, giving kudos to the Bahamas for preserving their goal differential so far in games in which they were dominated. On the other end, you know tonight would be a big part of the equation for Nicaragua if they can pad their goal differential a bit. Just the way it stands right now, potentially at night's end only being a point between Nicaragua and Trinidad and Tobago. Nicaragua's goal difference coming into the night +3. Trinidad and Tobago's +2. Or with a 2-goal lead currently, theirs would go to +4. So you start getting into all kinds of numbers, and you look to that final match day when it'll be Nicaragua against Trinidad and Tobago on March the 27th. 2 weeks ago, when we convened for this Window of Nations League, couldn't really start looking that far ahead yet, but now in the final match of the June window, have to start surveying the landscape and entertaining all possible scenarios. Has to be on the minds of these players and coaches. Barrera. Through to Quijano on the ground and cleared by Jolmas. Coronel. All the way across to Acevedo. 25-year-old plays with Real Esteli in Nicaragua. Majority of this roster for Nicaragua plays domestically, but a few of their key contributors in the starting 11, including Matthias Moldskred, who you saw there, do play elsewhere. He plays in Norway, over 120 pro appearances in his career in Norway. Marco Figueroa, the head coach of Nicaragua, looking on. They'd like to get Brian Lopez going if they can. Plays in Costa Rica and played for Costa Rica. Had 2 appearances in friendlies in 2020 with Costa Rica before filing with FIFA for his one-time switch to Nicaragua. Now making his 5th appearance for Nicaragua since then. Yet to find his first goal, but a terrific track record of scoring professionally, Brian Lopez. 52 goals in a pro career spent in Costa Rica. Acevedo. Reyes. Along for Quijano. Moreno slots it through for Lopez. Dangerous run out of the back from Lopez, and it's out for a corner. Ance Wheaton looks comfortable. He's made 3 saves, comes off of his line there to clear. 17-year-old earning just his 2nd cap for the Bahamas. Their regular goalkeeper, Julio Jemison, was stretchered off with a knee injury in the closing moments of the match 3 nights ago. Clipped in, free header off the post, still loose and cleared. Jaime Moreno again. That shot blocked. And it's a goal kick, says the official. Second time now that there's been a free header in the area like that. This time it's Cristian Gutierrez clanking it off the post. Last time it was Moreno putting it right at the goalkeeper. Believe that this will be a busy night for Douglas Forvis. In goal, he only saw one shot come his way 3 nights ago, and it was off target. Not by much. Around the hour mark, Bahamas found an opportunity on the counterattack as Massey slotted it through to Wood Jolmis. On the half turn, he pulled his shot maybe 3 inches wide of the far post. Referee getting in the way, turned out to help Nicaragua there for a moment, but the pass ahead to Molskred never came. He was in free. Had Moreno been able to slot that ball ahead. Here's Moreno. Long for Barrera. Molskred chested down, just out of his reach, had to lunge for it. Unable to keep it alive. Throw in coming for Nicaragua. Ten minutes into the second half. Still 3-1 Trinidad and Tobago. The other match of importance in League B Group C. 2 other matches on the schedule today. Guatemala currently a quarter of an hour in against Dominican Republic, and then later tonight, Honduras and Canada battle it out in League A. Jean-Francois looking for Jolmis. Possession battle is going to be an interesting one to monitor tonight. Bahamas are content to concede it, as they have in each of their matches so far, but on a night where they only have 2 players available on the bench, the more Nicaragua can hold the ball, the more they can make Bahamas chase, the more likely they are to tire out their opponent without a bench to really go to. Yellow card out of the pocket here. Goes against Emel Jolmis. Has a case to be made with that right foot coming in to get the ball, but the foul call and the yellow card for that scissor motion, bringing his left leg through. It's good refereeing by Julio Luna. Vance Wheaton setting up the wall. Might be called into action here from this wide set piece. Quarter of an hour in, scoreless between Nicaragua and the Bahamas. Joe Malfa with you. Action taking place in Managua at Estadio Nacional. Rainy evening in Managua, 90% chance of it throughout the evening. A chance for Nicaragua to ensure they would finish no worse than second in League B Group C with a win tonight. Molskred all the way out for Barrera. Coronel. Jolmis had to be very careful on the challenge from behind. And did enough to force Coronel into an unforced error. better from the Bahamas. Across midfield, Rowan Davis. Rowan Davis. Knocked out for a throw-in for the visitors. Fans have done a terrific job packing out this stadium tonight. Massey had it knocked away. Brought down by Davis. Dangerous pass backward in transition here. Opportunity brewing for Bonilla. Over the top for Moreno. Wheaton at the edge of his 18. It's been a busy 2022 for Nicaragua. Had 5 friendlies they played in the build-up to Nations League. 3 against Mexican club teams, and then 2 against Belize. Here's Moreno, chests it down, cuts it back, he's taken down, and a penalty is awarded to Nicaragua. It's Jolmis on the tackle. He already has a yellow. Will a card be featured here as well? If so, Bahamas would go down a man. But it seems like Julio Luna will be lenient in terms of issuing a card. Just a foul on the penalty. Juan Barrera, in his 71st appearance for his nation, donning the captain's armband. Ball in hand and ready to strike from 12 yards out. 21 goals for his nation. A lot of phones in hands of patrons behind the net looking to capture this moment, as it could put Nicaragua ahead 1-0 and get them that much closer to the 2023 Concacaf Gold Cup, and perhaps that much closer to League A in the next edition of Nations League. Barrera scores! 1-0 to Nicaragua in the 19th minute. He's worn the captain's armband for every start over the last 3 years. And he has his 22nd goal for his nation, sending the crowd into a frenzy. That hesitation step right there sends the keeper the wrong way. And then nothing Vance Wheaton could do but watch it and hope that it would go wide of the post. It did not. And it's a 1-0 lead for the home side. The way the stadium is constructed there on the far side, it's just one steep wall of humanity clad in blue and white. The noise just resonates then down on the field. And the home side giving the fans plenty of reason to be noisy. 20 minutes in total control of this one. All they were lacking until moments ago was the goal. Out shooting Bahamas 7-0 in the first 20 minutes. Sure if the referee got the handball or the foul, but either way, it's a free kick from the same spot on the field, regardless of which call was made. toward Moldskred. If you're Nicaragua tonight, first and foremost, make sure you secure the victory, but you have to imagine they wouldn't be too happy unless they win this match by multiple goals. Acevedo taken down by Barrera. Acevedo again. Wide for Bonilla. Byron Bonilla cutting. Sends it across the field. On the strike. Not too far off target from Jose Quijano. You get the sense that Nicaragua will be disappointed with anything but a multi-goal win tonight, especially with Trinidad and Tobago currently up by 2 goals on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This match here against the Bahamas, you figure, presents Nicaragua with a chance to pad their goal differential a little bit. Bahamas, the lowest ranked team among all of the teams in League B. And that ranges from Haiti as the 7th ranked team in Concacaf, as the top ranked team in League B, all the way down to the Bahamas, the 33rd ranked team in Concacaf and last in League B. So the weakest link of the possible opponents for Nicaragua here in League B Group C. Only beat them 2-0 the other night. To be fair, Trinidad and Tobago also beat the Bahamas 1-0 in their matchup. But with the race so tight, it seems, between Trinidad and Tobago and Nicaragua, looking like it'll come down to the final day when they do play each other on March 27th. Can't take anything for granted. If you have an opportunity to pad the goal differential, you take it. They were maybe disappointed to have only won 2-0 the other night, given the statistical advantages they had, 15-1 in terms of the shots. And already tonight, just 24 minutes in, it's already 8-0 in the shots for Nicaragua, but just the 1 goal to show on the penalty. And now on the counter the other way, Bahamas with a shot. Forvis makes the save. That is the first shot on target for the Bahamas between either of their 2 matches so far against Nicaragua. It's Jordan Wilson, the 16-year-old who plays at IMG Academy in Florida. Moldskred plays it wide for Lopez, biding his time, cutting inward. 1 touch too many in the end. Shielded out well by Christian Gutierrez. 3 of the 4 members of the back line for Nicaragua play at Real Estadio, so plenty of familiarity and chemistry among that back line. Gutierrez, Acevedo, Quijano, all teammates. And going forward into the midfield, Juan Barrera also with Real Estadio. Flag stays down on the far side as Moldskred latches onto it. He's taken down, and it's cleanly won. Jean-Francois with the tackle, and now out for a goal kick. Very good challenge put in by Jean-Francois, the 30-year-old, earning his 10th cap tonight. Debuted October of 2018 in a Nations League qualifier against Antigua and Barbuda. Only the 2nd match Francois is playing in this window. Did not play against St. Vincent and the Grenadines or Nicaragua the other night. Started and went 80 against Trinidad and Tobago. Here's Lopez. Looking for Moldskred. back into play by Chris Rahming. He's played every minute of every match so far for the Bahamas. Four players in the starting 11 for the visitors tonight have played every minute of every match, anchored by the captain, Leslie St. Fleur. Jolmas brothers also every minute of every match, and then the aforementioned Chris Rahming, the fourth of that bunch. And all but two players are going to have to go all 90 tonight. A reminder that the Bahamas only have two outfield players on the bench, in addition to a goalkeeper. So as this game forges onward, you can't really look to the sidelines waiting for Neslie Jean to make a sub to try and get the team back into it. They have what they have, and unfortunately tonight, what they have is not a lot. Ever since the goal, Nicaragua has settled things down a little bit in terms of their chance creation. That goal came 10 minutes ago now. In the 10 minutes since then, only 2 shots after 7 leading up to that moment. Rolled back for Acevedo. Fostered along to Coronel. Christian Reyes. Now Acevedo. Out wide, it's Bonilla. Bonilla. Moldskred very upset to have not gotten that ball on his run into the box. Exchanging words now with Bonilla as the two jog back up the field. Had Bonilla played that ball, Moldskred would have been one-on-one with the keeper. So the 24-year-old Matthias Moldskred has a case. It's a man who wants the ball at his feet in and around the area, scored the goal last match. Jolmas took a lot of contact there on that 50-50 ball. Here's a closer look. Right there, it seemed like the elbow into the hip. Of the players out there using this as a moment to seek out some hydration. A half an hour into this one from Managua. Cool evening, low 70s, but humid and wet. 90% chance of rain throughout, and it has been coming down. Goal scored in the 19th minute by Juan Barrera, the captain, from the penalty mark. Recently moved over to Real Estadio in Nicaragua, the captain who you briefly saw on your screen there for a moment, chatting it up with Marco Figueroa, the head coach. Previously, Barrera spent a lot of time with Comunicaciones, 173 total pro appearances. And as noted earlier, he's worn the captain's armband for every single one of his starts over the last 3 years for Nicaragua. Does so with pride and has the goal to his name tonight. Coronel from Moldskred. And he commits the foul after that heavy touch. Bahamas had a lot of momentum after their success in Nations League in 2019. But of course, COVID strikes and no matches in 2020, and then no matches in 2021 until it came time for their Gold Cup prelims and their World Cup qualifiers. So a 16-month layoff for the Bahamas after their promotion from League C in the last edition of Nations League. Moldskred chips it through. Moreno, while falling down, somehow gets it through, and it's 2-0. For the second time in 3 days, Jaime Moreno has bagged a goal against the Bahamas. The other night, it was a simple open header in the 6-yard box. This one, watch this, falling down. Able to take it on that half volley, put it beyond Wigan to the corner. The athleticism it takes to pull that off. What a way to get your 6th goal for your nation in your 24th appearance. Jaime Moreno makes it 2-0. Seeing a substitution here for the Bahamas. Logan Russell in for Rowan Davis. So from bad to worse right now for the visitors. Already limited tonight to only 2 outfield players on their bench, and they have to burn one of those 2 subs in the first half because of an injury. Feel for the Bahamas in a very difficult spot here. Short-handed on the road in a hostile environment against a team in Nicaragua ranked nearly 70 spots higher in the FIFA World Rankings. And this might be a night where Nicaragua tries to run up the score rather than easing off the throttle as this game gets later and later. Got a weakened, depleted side playing its 4th match in 10 days in the Bahamas. Only 1 more available sub on the bench. And you are in a 2-horse race atop League B Group C with Trinidad and Tobago, where goal difference might come in. Get every single one you can. Maybe another one here as Barrera keeps it in. Lays it back to the top of the area. Quijano's heavy touch thwarts that opportunity. Still 3-1, Trinidad and Tobago over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Meaning at the moment in the live table, 10 points for Nicaragua in 1st place, 9 points for Trinidad and Tobago in 2nd place. And their goal differentials would be separated by just 1. It would be Nicaragua at +5, Trinidad and Tobago at +4. When that March window opens on the 24th, 9 months from now, Trinidad and Tobago squares off against the Bahamas in the first match. Nicaragua against St. Vincent and the Grenadines before they play each other then, in all likelihood, for the group title on the final day. Now at the end of this evening, it's looking increasingly likely that both Nicaragua and Trinidad and Tobago will be in a position where they can finish no worse than 2nd in the group, which in and of itself is an impressive feat. And it guarantees entry into at least the Gold Cup prelims next summer. But of course you want to go on to win the group outright, because 1st place gets automatic entry into the Gold Cup group stage. Don't have to worry about the prelims. And then also you would earn promotion into League A. For Nicaragua, it would be a 4th ever Gold Cup appearance. Their first came in 09, then back-to-back in 17 and 19. Here's Russell. Tries his luck from far out. Have that kind of space, you might as well go for it. But didn't catch it cleanly in the end. Lopez. Oldskred battling to keep it in. He does. Oldskred now lost it. Fancy footwork from Oldskred. This Nicaraguan side barely stayed up in League B last time around, 3rd place finishers after 2 wins, a draw, and 3 losses. So now just a couple of years later, it could go from a 3rd place League B finish to potentially winning the group. Eliminated in the first stage of World Cup qualifying after losing to Haiti in the final group match. Had a chance to go through into that 2nd stage, that playoff, to get into the octagonal round. Five minutes remaining here in half number 1. The scoreline is already the same as it was just 3 nights ago, but much earlier. It was right here in the 40th minute where Jaime Moreno finally broke through for Nicaragua on the road against the Bahamas. And then in the 1st minute of added time, Matthias Oldskred made it 2-0. Didn't have to wait as long tonight, Nicaragua. Opening goal came in the 19th, and then just 15 minutes later, they doubled that lead. Some space here to operate for Cartwright, but put the pass behind Jordan Wilson. Great ball clipped into space here. Quijano, Jordan Moreno. It seemed like Quijano accidentally double touched that one as he planted with the left foot, poked it further than he would have liked, and then had to go off the side of his right foot, but the attack is recycled through Acevedo, driven through. Back for Quijano, and saved by Wheaton. That time he caught it cleanly, but right at the keeper. Already seeing a much more open match than we did just a couple of nights ago. Maybe that's a byproduct of Nicaragua getting on the board earlier and forcing the Bahamas to open up just a bit. They kept bunkering in at home 3 nights ago, the Bahamas, as that match remained 0-0. but it's 13 shots to 2 in favor of Nicaragua. It was 15-1 in the entirety of the last match. So with 3.5 minutes to spare here, they might eclipse their shot total from the other night. And it's not like it was a weak shot total, 15 in that 90-minute match. Barrera calling for it. Sent in his direction. Moreno was there as well. Kept alive now by Bonilla. Bonilla plays it in. Moltskred had more time than he realized, and I think he knows it. Rushed it on an awkward left-footed volley. Have another look. Right here, rushed it, but Moreno unintentionally setting a pick for Moltskred, who could have taken 2-3 more touches. He had all that time. Numbers here for Nicaragua. Lopez played it just beyond Barrera. Closing moments now of half number one. Can Nicaragua find a third at the end line? Played it front and easy tap in. The second of the night for Moreno, and his third in 3 days against the Bahamas. You can see the numbers advantage. They had all that space. Ryan Lopez, brilliant run to the end line, calmly slots it across. Of the 3 goals now scored by Moreno against the Bahamas over the last 3 days, that one right there, the easiest. And from 6 inches out into an open net. Don't know how many he'll have like that. And there's your halftime whistle. Dominance from the home side in half number one. A trio of goals. The first from Juan Barrera, then 2 more from Jaime Moreno. The crowd loves every bit of it here in Managua. It's 2-0, rather 3-0 Nicaragua over the Bahamas here in their second meeting in 3 days. Terrific first half for Nicaragua at home in Managua as they welcome the Bahamas' second meeting all time between these two nations, and it's the second meeting in 3 days between these two nations. Last time it was a 2-0 win for Nicaragua on the road in the Bahamas, and that goal scoring came later on. Their first was in the 40th minute, their second was in the 91st minute. They didn't have to wait that long tonight. In the 19th minute, Juan Barrera right there would end up at the penalty spot after Jaime Moreno would draw the foul, and it would allow Nicaragua to take the early lead after a barrage of other early chances that were fortunate for the Bahamas to remain out of the net, including that one there off the post on the header by Gutierrez. Jaime Moreno was involved in so much of the danger in that half. Moltskred had a couple of moments as well in the area. Perhaps unlucky to not have a goal himself of the 3 that were scored by Nicaragua. Finally, this one was clipped through for Moreno. He was taken down. Barrera buries it. That made it 1-0 in the 19th minute. So Moreno drew the penalty for the opening goal, and then the next 2 would just be scored by Moreno himself. Barrera has worn the captain's armband every start he's made for the last 3 years. Runs right over to the bench to celebrate the opening goal. That was the first and only shot on target of the match for the Bahamas. The other way, they have 4 total shots, but only that one on target. Look at this finish from Moreno, falling down on the volley. Gets it past Wheaton to that far post. That made it 2-0 in the 34th minute. So already 34 minutes in, Nicaragua had the 2 goals that they scored the other night against the Bahamas, and they got both of these much earlier. And with everything going their way, all of the chances, all of the possession, a tired-looking Bahamas team that already had to dip into the bench, considering they only have 2 subs, had to burn one of them because of an injury. Perhaps Nicaragua just smelling blood in the water, and they would strike one more time in the 45th minute. A really fluid build-up. They had numbers. Brian Lopez got through to the end line, and he would slot it in front for an easy tap-in for Moreno. Quijano was active down that right wing as well in the half. Moltskred again had a number of chances for Nicaragua. And then here would come the 3rd goal. Lopez puts it in front, and an easy roll in for Jaime Moreno. And for Brian Lopez, in his 5th appearance for Nicaragua after making that switch over from Costa Rica, he gets on the score sheet for the first time. That's his first assist in his new colors. And it made it 3-0 in the 45th minute. All Nicaragua in the first half from Estadio Nacional in Managua. Crucial matchup in League B Group C. With a win, Nicaragua could clinch no worse than 2nd place in the group, guaranteeing them entry into at least the Gold Cup prelims, and they are well on their way to another 3 points and 10 of a possible 12 in this June window. Look at the first half stats. Total domination by Nicaragua, 16-4 in the shots and 7-1 on target possession, all going their way as well. The question tonight is going to be how many can Nicaragua pour in to pad their goal differential as they're well on their way to 3 points against the Bahamas.
The official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app, available on the App Store and Google Play.
Ready for half number 2 between Nicaragua and the Bahamas. 3-0 to Nicaragua here at home as they are cruising to a victory. The question is going to be how many more do they want to score to help out their goal difference in a tight battle atop League B Group C after Trinidad and Tobago took a 4-1 win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the other match here in this group. Joe Malfa with you for the action from Managua at Estadio Nacional. Julio Luna gets us going for the second 45. Trinidad and Tobago's victory in the other match puts them to 9 points and a goal differential of +5. With these teams meeting on the final match day, in all likelihood, the victor on that day is going to be the one to take this group. And it seems like Nicaragua, if both of those teams hold serve, would have the advantage of needing just a draw come that time. But the goal difference could come into play, perhaps in a situation in which Trinidad and Tobago maybe drop points on the road in their next match and would then need to beat Nicaragua on the final day. On the strike here, it's just wide. The more you could add to it, the better, just in case. Bonilla pulls this one. Out for Quijano, but there was contact, and it's called against Nicaragua. It wouldn't be the most far-fetched thing either for the Bahamas to go earn a point against Trinidad and Tobago in that first match of the March window. In World Cup qualifying last year, the Bahamas held Trinidad and Tobago to a 0-0 draw to, on that day, eliminate Trinidad and Tobago from World Cup qualifying contention. So it seems like it's going to come down to the final match day between Nicaragua and Trinidad and Tobago. And there is that one scenario, a Trinidad draw and a Nicaragua win on March 24th, where it would set up a situation in which Nicaragua has a 3-point lead on Trinidad. Only then could goal differential possibly come into play if the Soca Warriors beat Nicaragua on the final match day. On a day in which the Bahamas are limited to just one more player remaining on the bench. Already staked to a 3-goal lead. How many more will Nicaragua look for? These teams had never previously met before they did 3 nights ago. Here's Quijano. Moreno lays it off. Moreno's got ample opportunity tonight to look for a hat trick. Coming into the day, there were 5 players who had 4 goals each, sitting atop Nations League in the all-around goal lead. And Moreno now finds himself in that conversation as well after 2 tonight. Quijano rolls it ahead, laid back for Lopez. Lopez picked up his first assist for Nicaragua on that third goal. Can he find a goal of his own tonight? Made his debut in the friendly on January 30th against Belize after playing 2 friendlies for Costa Rica back in 2020 before he filed with FIFA for that one-time switch. Played in front by Quijano. The back heel from Moreno would have been pretty if it worked, but stopped by Wheaton. Lopez give and go with Moreno. Lopez wants it back. Instead, it's forced toward Moldskrede by Bonilla. Here's Massey. Rolls it out in front of Jolmis, who has to close some distance to get there and make it close. But cleared away anyway by Christian Reyes. Tomorrow is the final day of this June window here in Nations League. And then everything goes on a 9-month hiatus until the March window opens. Massey lost his footing, gets back to his feet, but doesn't seem like he'll have enough room to keep that one in. It's in a late tackle as well, but is there to help up his counterpart Gutierrez. So we wrap up the June window with 7 total matches tomorrow. In League A, Jamaica and Mexico. Also El Salvador and the United States. In League B, French Guiana against Belize, Bermuda against Montserrat, and Haiti against Guyana. And then in League C, Bonaire against the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Turks and Caicos against Sint Maarten. League C, Group A, with those 4 teams, Bonaire, Sint Maarten, U.S. Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos. Still a close one overall. Now the rest of the League C groups, bit of a different story. St. Lucia and Puerto Rico have already wrapped up Groups C and D, earning promotion to League B. So congratulations to St. Lucia, and Puerto Rico also will be featured in the Gold Cup preliminaries and don't have to sweat it out come March. League C, Group B is a tight one as well. Aruba, St. Kitts and Nevis on 4 points each, and St. Martin on 2 points. So that one bears watching come March. Elsewhere in League B, of course, here in Group C, you're going to have, it seems, Nicaragua in first place on 10 points, Trinidad and Tobago in second on 9. And there might be a tight relegation battle between the Bahamas on 3 points and St. Vincent and the Grenadines on 1. Played out wide to Quijano. Quijano to the back post, saved by Wheaton. Barrera had a chance for his own brace to match the brace of his teammate Jaime Moreno. Just snuck behind St. Fleur, was uncontested. League B, Group A, Cuba and Guadeloupe lead the way with 9 points each. Antigua and Barbuda on 6 points in third. And with 2 matches remaining, Barbados, not mathematically yet having clinched relegation, but they have 0 points. They need to win both of theirs. Have Antigua and Barbuda lose both of theirs and make up a lot of goals. So Group A At the bottom, it's just about set, but at the top, Guadeloupe and Cuba will battle it out. Haiti and Guyana on 7 and 6 points respectively in League B, Group B, but those two teams will meet tomorrow. And then in Group D of League B, at the moment, Guatemala winning 1-0 over Dominican Republic. Tomorrow, French Guyana will take on Belize. And it's French Guyana currently tied in first with Guatemala on 7 points each, so that one will be a tight one as well. Bit of an issue on the field here. Some objects have been thrown. And the Nicaraguan players are letting it be known to their fans to refrain from that activity. And just finishing up the tour around Nations League. In League A, still a lot to be determined with matches later tonight between Canada and Honduras, and then 2 tomorrow, El Salvador and the United States, Jamaica and Mexico. Panama so far leads Group B in League A with 7 points, Costa Rica with 3. Group A, Jamaica has 4 points, Mexico has 3, but Mexico has played 1 game fewer. Everybody in Group C has 3 points right now between Canada, Honduras, and Curacao, but they've all played a different number of games. Canada 1, Honduras 2, Curacao 3. And then in Group D, the United States dominating against Grenada. In the last match, they will visit El Salvador tomorrow. So once tomorrow is done, we'll have a clearer picture of how things look in League A, but it seems like 3 of the 4 groups will see the favorites come through in first place, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. But Group B bears watching. Panama and Costa Rica. Panama on 7 through 3 matches, Costa Rica on 3 through 2 matches after the Costa Ricans lost to Panama, with an eye perhaps toward something a bit bigger in the mind of the Costa Ricans. Tomorrow, they take on New Zealand in their World Cup playoff. Already saw one of those World Cup playoffs today in Qatar. Australia advanced beyond Peru on penalties. Now Costa Rica and New Zealand have their turn tomorrow. So another Concacaf team could punch a ticket to the World Cup tomorrow. Corner on the way for the Bahamas. They're first in the match. First, it looks like we have a trio of subs coming from Nicaragua. Ariana Smith, Richard Rodriguez, and Henry Garcia, the 3 players getting ready. Massey's corner is over everybody. First change will be Matias Moldskred out and Richard Rodriguez in. Byron Bonilla will exit now for Henry Garcia. The third of the 3 subs will see Jaime Moreno leave to quite the ovation after his brace tonight, with Ariana Smith entering. For Jaime Moreno, 3 goals from these 2 matches in 3 days against the Bahamas. He had the game winner in the last match, scored the first in that 2-0 victory. And tonight, scores goals number 2 and 3 for Nicaragua after Juan Barrera opened the scoring in the 19th minute. Nicaragua felt they were on. Well, the foul call brings it back. Looked like a clean tackle put in by Ariane Smith, 23-year-old who plays in Lithuania. He waited too long and the ball was just over the line. Ariane Smith has become a regular for Nicaragua ever since their World Cup qualifiers last year. He made his debut all the way back in 2017 in a friendly. And then after 4 years away from the national team, burst back onto the scene with a start in World Cup qualifying against Turks and Caicos, scored twice in the match. And then in a friendly last September, had a goal against Guatemala. So 7 caps, 3 goals for Ariane Smith. Up the right side, here's Garcia. Henry Garcia pokes it through, good ball, Barrera in front. Ariane Smith was waiting at the back post. Wheaton got a piece of it to stop it from getting through. Look back at that, slotted through by Garcia. Just a wrong pass played in. It's Jordan Wilson who's gone down for the Bahamas. One of their bright young players, 16 years of age, plays at IMG Academy in Florida. High school powerhouse in the United States. This is his first international start tonight, Jordan Wilson. All 3 of his previous appearances have come here in this group, but all as a sub. Made his debut in the first Nations League match. Year-old hobbling off the field. They still have 1 remaining player on the bench, the Bahamas. Came into the night with just 2 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper on that bench. And you see there the trainer now making the signal for a substitution to be made. So for the Bahamas, it'll be their 2nd and final available outfield player on the bench brought in. That's Kanaz Swain for Jordan Wilson. Nicaragua will use this as a chance to get a sub in as well. Marvin Fletes into the match for Christian Reyes. Still 1 more sub available for Nicaragua if they choose to use it. The Bahamas, they still have 3 subs remaining, but they only have a goalkeeper on the bench. for the most part, the players out there will be the players who finish this match, with the exception of maybe one switch for Nicaragua over the final 25 minutes. Nicaragua haven't had that same urgency in the second half as they did in the first half, but understandable with a 3-0 lead. Already feeling like enough damage has been done, perhaps. And feeling confident in their situation in the table, where they will end the evening in first place in League B Group C. As long as they hold serve at home on March 24th with a win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, regardless of what Trinidad and Tobago does against the Bahamas in their match on March 24th, all Nicaragua would need is a draw on the final match day against Trinidad and Tobago to win the group. So for a Nicaraguan side that just avoided relegation in the last edition of Nations League by coming in third in their League B group, they have within reach promotion to League A and an automatic berth into the Gold Cup, bypassing the prelims. The win that they are on their way onto tonight is already going to be enough to guarantee at worst a berth in the prelims. Lopez floats it along. Garcia takes it down, plays it in front, saved by Wheaton. Good quick reaction save by the 17-year-old. Denying Ariana Smith his 4th international goal in just his 8th appearance for Nicaragua. With 2 games remaining after tonight, Nicaragua would already have a 7-point lead on the Bahamas, 3rd place. So already guaranteeing no worse than that spot in the Gold Cup prelims, which were very entertaining last time around. Single elimination played in Miami. We saw a handful of those matches go into penalties, some deep into penalties. We're talking 8th, 9th, 10th rounds. Ariana Smith clips it along, taken down. If you could avoid those prelims, though, of course you do everything in your power to do so. Don't want to leave it to having to win back-to-back single elimination affairs where penalties could come into the equation. Nicaragua would hope to take care of business just 3.5 months prior. We'll get here before you know it. It's still 9 months until that March window, but once that March window comes, we will only be about 3 months away from those Gold Cup prelims. The United States reigning Gold Cup champions and reigning Nations League champions. They will take on El Salvador tomorrow night in League A. And we're about a half an hour away from kickoff in the match in League A tonight between Canada and Honduras. That'll be the final match of the evening in Nations League. Smith lays it back, gets it back. Smith on the turn, lays it off for Rodriguez. Took a deflection out for a corner. That was Barrera, pardon me, coming in from the left side. He opened the scoring tonight with his penalty. Garcia, swerving ball. That started well wide of the left post. would have ended up inside that left post had it not been over the crossbar. Look at the movement on this. Henry Garcia has been involved in a few dangerous attacks since coming on. One of the many players in the Nicaragua roster who plays with Real Estadio. Garcia debuted all the way back in February of 2012, a decade now in the national team. Interestingly enough, he's never scored. Tonight might be the night. Francisco Flores entering for Acevedo as he leaves, holding his right leg. Fifth and final sub for Nicaragua. Flores started the match last time around against Bahamas. Garcia lurking, he takes it away. A decade wearing his nation's colors. He's come close to an assist and a goal already tonight. Quijano plays it in front, and Wheaton able to break it up as Smith was there. And it's again Garcia orchestrating things with that through ball to Quijano. Still 1-0 in the other match going on at the moment here in League B. Separate group, however. Guatemala 1, Dominican Republic 0. That's a group currently tied at top with French Guiana and Guatemala on 7 points in the live table. But French Guiana will have a chance to retake sole possession of first place tomorrow, as they will have a game in hand on Guatemala. Barrera plays the through ball for Lopez. He rescues it down in the corner. Towards Smith. Lopez goes down, cleanly won. And now a penalty, that's unfortunate. The defender for the Bahamas thought that the referee blew the whistle for a foul, so he put his hand on the ball to stop it and take a free kick. The referee had no choice. He thought the whistle was blown. He right there tapped it to try to set up his own free kick. And then you could see the look on his face, knowing what had just transpired. Unfortunate for Canal Swain, the substitute. And you could tell that Julio Luna didn't want to blow the whistle for the penalty, but he had to. Sets up Ariana Smith. Smith to make it 4-0. He does. It's his 4th goal in 8 matches for the national team. The 23-year-old, a bright future, but right now the present looking pretty bright as well. Comes into the match for Jaime Moreno, who had 2 goals in the first half. Smith gets one of his own here in the second. There aren't too many young players in this Nicaraguan side. You look at tonight's starting 11, for example. Moldskred was 24 years old. Oscar Acevedo was 25 years old. Everybody else, 27 or older, and a number of players in their 30s. So as it pertains to youth, Arianer Smith, the only one who brings any sort of youth to this Nicaraguan side at 23, and they have to be excited about what he has done already. 4 goals in now 8 appearances. Quarter of an hour remains. Nicaragua, no doubt about it, on the way to 3 points and a second victory in 3 days over the Bahamas. They have put on a show tonight for the home fans in Managua at Estadio Nacional. Joe Malfa with you for the action. Glad to have had you along for the ride. Garcia to Quijano. Quijano whizzes it across. Taken down by Rodriguez. And just going back to that penalty a moment ago, you can't help but feel for Canaz Swain. He's been a regular in the lineup for the Bahamas in this phase of this tournament. These 4 matches in this June window. Very noisy venue with the horns blaring. He thought that a foul was called against Nicaragua. So he put his hand on the ball and was caught for allowing the penalty, unfortunately. Here's Jolmes one-on-one with some space. Wood Jolmes has help on the left side. Jolmes keeps it himself. Had he rolled it along to the left side for Troy Pinder, he would have been 1 on the keeper. But that last touch, too heavy. And perhaps a couple of touches too many from Wood Jolmes. Lopez with speed enters the box on the left side. He has switched over from the right to the left after the subs were made to bring in Garcia. Lopez is a chess piece that Nicaragua can move just about anywhere on the board. Right wing back, left wing back, leave him up top as a striker. Barrera, Garcia. Henry Garcia, still patient, rolls it back for Barrera, clipped along towards Smith. Taken by Coronel. Rodriguez gets it back inside for Flores, contact, no call. But there was a question there as to whether or not that could have been the 3rd penalty of the evening for Nicaragua. Guatemala has made it 2-0 over the Dominican Republic in the other match going on at the moment. Quijano. And in that match, Dominican Republic have also gone down a man. So down 2 goals and down a man. Seems like Guatemala well on the way to 3 points with only 10 minutes remaining. Up 2 goals and a man. Player has gone down for the Bahamas off the field beyond the end line. So for the moment, they are shorthanded. And without any other outfield players available on the bench, they may remain shorthanded for the duration of this one. Can't quite make out who that is with the trainer hunched over him. A Bahamas team that tonight, and you can't fault them for this, have looked like they're just running on fumes. A 4th match in 10 days. Don't have any options off the bench. And they gave their all in the first 3 matches. That's the risk you run when you play this type of style. trying to just sit back, defend, and counter. You concede all that possession, and when you concede that possession, it leaves you chasing, expending a lot of energy. That was the case in all 3 matches prior against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and then Nicaragua. Conceded the possession, chased the game. It worked against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They found their goal on the counter. They won by a 1-0 scoreline. But when you have 4 in 10 days, it's a double-edged sword, because now on this final day, you seem to be gassed and only had 2 options on the bench. Valiant effort. Just coming up short tonight against Nicaragua, who have looked terrific in all facets. Through 4 matches of play in this group, it's clear that Nicaragua looked to be the class of the bunch. Surprisingly enough, though, they did drop points in that match against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Granted, it was on the road, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines end this June window with only 1 point in 4 matches. And go figure, that 1 point came against a team who will be leading the group after taking 10 of a possible 12. That was quite the affair in Kingstown. St. Vincent and the Grenadines struck first in the 3rd minute of the match. Nicaragua bounced back with 2 first-half goals to make it 2-1. And then in the final minute of first-half stoppage time, St. Vincent and the Grenadines made it 2-2. And for 4 goals in the first half, there were none in the second. Garcia's ball in, taken by St. Fleur and cleared. So if you're Nicaragua, you have to be happy, of course, with 10 of a possible 12, but you might be kicking yourself for having left 2 points out there against the last place team. A remarkable 26 shots tonight for Nicaragua. Make it 27. 14 of those have been on target. And make that 15 now, excuse me, have been on target. So 11 saves on the night for the 17-year-old Vance Wheaton in goal, earning just his 2nd cap for the Bahamas. Have to commend him for that. 11 saves. Here's Garcia. Bottom of your screen, you see Cartwright walking gingerly to the bench. So Bahamas, remember, playing down a man at the moment. And they don't have another outfield player to bring on in Cartwright's stead. Coronel lines it up, diving save away. Vance Wheaton, make that a 12 saves for him. Full extension to punch it around the post. Quickly taken corner. Rodriguez turns and strikes it. Those were shots 28 and 29 on the evening for Nicaragua. They're on pace to blow past 30 in these closing moments. And they only had 15. I say only had 15 because in comparison to tonight, it's half of the total. But they had 15 3 nights ago against the Bahamas. Just about doubling it here. And they've doubled their goal total as well, from 2-0 the other night to 4-0 tonight. Garcia plays it across, headed wide. Off of the deflection, there was a chance there for Barrera, the captain, to find another. Well, here you go. There's no number on the back of that man's jersey, but it's Miguel Thompson, the backup goalkeeper, coming in as a field player. I've alluded to it throughout the evening that The Bahamas only had 2 outfield players available tonight. They lost Cartwright due to injury, having already burned through both of their available outfield players, and bring on the backup goalkeeper for some run in the final few moments, just to be an extra body out there to make it 11v11. If you had that on your Concacaf bingo card, you can go ahead and cover that space. Backup goalkeeper coming in as a field player this evening. And there he is, Thompson. It's every goalkeeper's dream to go ahead and try to get a goal for your team. This one out for a goal kick. Smith through for Garcia, has the backside run coming from 2 possible teammates in the area. Garcia slows it down. Lopez, Brian Lopez, save, rebound, put in. Barrera, and the celebration is short-lived. The offside flag was raised, and Leslie St. Fleur collided with the post as he tried to keep that one out of the goal. Didn't matter in the end with the offside flag, but of course he didn't know that at the time. And gave all the effort to try and keep it out. Second look, avoided the post, but something's still ailing him. The way he got caught up in the net behind the play initially, I thought he had collided with the post. Examining his right shoulder. Well, now there are no players available for the Bahamas. They had 2 outfield players and a backup goalkeeper who they brought in as a field player. The silver lining is there are only 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. In the grand scheme of things, not all that important whether or not St. Fleur is able to make it back out there. And for his sake, he's earned a couple of minutes off at the end of this match if he needs it. He has played every minute of this group phase so far. And he pulls double duty for the Bahamas as well, Leslie St. Fleur. Also the star of their beach soccer team. He is the 4th leading scorer all time in Concacaf beach soccer. Great ball through. And the corner earned by Flores. About to enter minute 90. And there's St. Fleur trotting back out onto the field. It's going to take a lot to keep that guy outside the lines. Clean through ball. St. Fleur charging back to disrupt it. Wesley St. Fleur, 33 years of age, cap number 29 today, 11 goals in that time for the Bahamas. He led the way with 3 goals and 1 assist in 3 matches last edition of Nations League. And no time added at the end of this one. There's your final whistle. Nicaragua 4, Bahamas nothing. 3 points for Nicaragua ensures that they will finish no worse than second place in League B Group C. So with a win tonight in front of the home crowd, Nicaragua guarantees entry to at least the Gold Cup preliminary stage next summer. And as we head into the March window, with the June window now closed, Nicaragua in first place here in Group C. A look back at the highlights from Nicaragua's 4-0 win over the Bahamas. A very deftly earned 3 points. Clinical performance from this Nicaraguan side. The opportunities came in bunches, especially in the first half. They eased off the throttle a little bit late in the second half, already staked to a 3 and then 4 goal lead. But in the first half, opportunities by the minute, it seemed, for Nicaragua. A matter of when and how many they would get, not if they would find the back of the net tonight. Off the post here on the header. Gutierrez that close to opening the scoring just a dozen minutes in. That man would factor in heavily, Jaime Moreno. Barrera clips this one on the backside. Moldskred couldn't really handle it. In case of close but no cigar tonight for Moldskred. He was in and around the box a lot. Different story for Moreno. Draws a penalty here. And then Barrera puts it away. He's worn that captain's armband for every start in the last 3 years for Nicaragua. And that goal was his 22nd for his nation since he debuted in January of 2009. He had to wait until the 40th minute 3 days ago against the Bahamas to open the scoring. only had to wait 19 minutes this time around, and they would only have to wait 15 more minutes to get back on the board. That was the lone shot on target right there of the match for the Bahamas. Came midway through the first half. Slotted through here to Moreno, and an exquisite finish. He's falling away, he volleys it, and he gets it to the far post beyond Wheaton. Maybe Wheaton could have had it, he got a piece of it, but with such a quick strike like that, and the goalkeeper probably wasn't expecting it, not with the way that the body was positioned for Moreno to somehow flip the hips like that, diving on the volley. World-class finish from Moreno. His next one would be a lot easier. We'd get there in 11 minutes. That goal came in the 34th. His next would come in the 45th, to the delight of the crowd, who are at this point already treated to a 2-0 lead, which was the same scoreline that Nicaragua beat the Bahamas by 3 nights ago. Some more opportunities, albeit harmless ones, from Quijano. Moldskred again comes close, had some space and time, but rushed it just a bit. And then here's that third goal at the end line. Lopez, and an easy roll in for Moreno. And an open net after the goalkeeper came out toward that front post. Moreno, his second of the night, his third in 3 days against the Bahamas, and the third of the match for Nicaragua, up 3-0 going into halftime. It was the first half to remember for Nicaragua. And for Moreno, he came into Nations League with 4 goals in his international career, and he leaves this June window with 7, almost doubling his tally overall. Had the feel for Vance Wheaton in goal for the Bahamas, under fire the whole evening. The 17-year-old, he did make a dozen saves himself. That was it for the first half, and then we go for half number 2, where there were plenty more opportunities from Nicaragua. And you could look at this game from any angle, and it showed the same thing. Nicaragua just dominant all around. Their attacks were a bit half-hearted in the early stages of the second half. Perhaps the fact they knew this was well in hand plays into that. And they didn't attack with the same ferocity as they did in the first half when the game was still in question. But then as the half wore on, the legs grew more and more tired for the Bahamas, and things opened up more and more for Nicaragua. They had 16 first half shots. They had 14 second half shots. 3 first half goals, just 1 second half goal. Smith denied there from point blank range. Big save by Wheaton. And Ariana Smith would get his goal eventually. Garcia was a spark plug off the bench for Nicaragua. That one swerved all kinds of ways, but just missed over the bar. And this is just unfortunate for the Bahamas. He thought that the whistle was blown, but it wasn't, and he touched the ball, and it's a penalty for the second time tonight, and Smith tucks it in. Not the most well-struck penalty. Wheaton guessed the right way, even got a slight piece of it, but still placed just well enough by Smith to get it through and make it 4-0 for Nicaragua. He's the youngest player to see the field tonight for Nicaragua at 23 years old. The future's bright, and the present is bright. That's his 4th goal in 8 appearances for his country. And all excitement on the sideline for Marco Figueroa. A few more opportunities still in the match for Nicaragua, but no more would cross the goal line between the posts. It would end 4-0 on this evening in Managua. Credit to the fans at Estadio Nacional. They were blowing the horns and allowing their voices to be heard the entire way. And they were treated to quite the performance from their national side. They thought they had a 5th there in the end, but the offside flag denied Barrera his 2nd goal of the evening. And it was over there, 4-0 for Nicaragua. That does it for us here from Managua. For the crew that makes this all possible, I'm Joe Malva saying good night from Estadio Nacional. Nicaragua takes a 4-0 victory over the Bahamas. They end the June window of the 2022-2023 Concacaf Nations League in first place in League B Group C. Good night, everybody.